Yeah. Ow. Let's go. Man on a mission, getting niggas' attention. Grinding on times and make it come to fruition. X got some shit on his mind, he gon' talk it. And fuck tiptoe on the line, he gon' walk it. Different individuals, various talents. He bring you on the spot, you gotta keep it 1,000. Some of this, some of that, make sure it's a balance. Watch them other joints, now you niggas is wild. And it's a vibe over here, word of mouth gon' let you know. Don't believe me, better check the next episode. Come prepared, no shooting from the hip, it's live wire. X marks the spot, Pucho in the mix.
Time to go global, baby.
Welcome to Global VIP. I am Excell, and with me today, I have an icon is understatement, man. This man and the part of what he's done, him and the team that he was a part of, what they did for the culture, it's just amazing. It's incredible. What a unprecedented run you guys had with the movement. And I'm gonna go through your accolades before I introduce you, my brother, because I have to. And I was telling you off camera, like I did my research, and I'm like, wow. Let's start with at the peak of the movement, of the FUBU movement. They grossed over 350 million in 1 year, if I'm not mistaken, according to my research. The movement, the FUBU brand, they are known globally. They grossed over 6 billion since 1992 to the day. They have grossed over $6 billion globally as a brand. Received 2 congressional awards, 2 NAACP awards, the Christopher Wallace Award, citation from the Queensborough president. And FUBU as a brand is featured in the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And I'm just gonna stop there, because if I keep going,
I'm about to say
we just gonna be here all day with the accolades.
Yeah,
and we got Keith Perrin here, man. You know what I'm saying? And bro, listen, I really took this one serious, because I'm like, you guys did a lot for the culture. You set the blueprint for us. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, you're still managing to put people in position. So let's just start with you. How you been? How's everything going?
Man, I'm good. How you?
I can't call it, man. You know, I had a great time at your spot, you know, a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? I had to stop by Kiesel's Corner out there at FUBU Radio. So how's FUBU Radio going for you right now? How's that venture?
It's going
so
good,
far?
man. It's going good. You know, I'm putting in the work.
Mm-hmm.
The team is putting in the work.
Right,
and, you know, we're taking it one day at a time, but it's getting there.
So I found out that you are honorary member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that come about?
One of my men, Christian, reached out to me, my boy Christian.
Mm-hmm.
He presented it to us, and everybody went down there. I think Damon wasn't able to make it, but all 3 of us, Jay, BJ, and Carl, went down there and did the whole sworn-in thing and you know, became honorary members.
That's awesome, man. So what does that mean for you as an individual, just to be a part of
I like the brotherhood of it. You know, when I went down there and I was just around all the black men doing things and changing lives with the kids and you know, the communities and things like that. Like everybody was pulling together like that. Camaraderie was what drew me in. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And then my boy KB happened to be Phi Beta Sigma. So, you know, I know him for like 25, 30 years. So
that's love. Now, and the induction to the African American Museum, like, wow, just walk me through that. Like when you guys got is it an invitation that they send, or just they reach out and say, hey, listen, we want to have this. How does that work?
Which one you said?
The African American Museum. The fact that you guys have that section out there, the FUBU display. And,
or the wax
in Washington D.C.
Oh, that one. No, we just gave them a couple things.
Okay.
They requested a couple things from us, and we sent it out there. But we're in a bunch of different museums. I mean, I wouldn't even, never, ever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of this would be possible.
I was just gonna ask you that too. Like, did you envision this?
Because we got some wax figures out there in the Great Wax and Blacks Museum. And
that I did not know. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's fire.
You know what I'm saying? And then we in the Met and a bunch of other ones. Like we did some shit with Pierre Morse. For Fashion Week, and he put those gowns in the Met. So, you know, we were like 8, a couple of overseas.
Wow.
You know.
Got you. So now, for those people out there right now, you currently have a partnership or collaboration with U42, or and what with FUBU Radio and U42. I noticed that you have you just started that partnership, right?
Yeah.
And that particular partnership, how does that put you in position? Are you trying to be the next radio station or radio network in New York City? What exactly is your intention with FUBU Radio?
Well, we're already a radio station.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
gotcha.
I just created my network where I can just do multiple shows. You know, the radio can only hold so much, you know? And especially with the visuals, that gives me the visuals to be able to do something like this, podcast, you know, interview type thing, you know what I mean?
Got you. I heard one of your interviews, you guys talked about the beginning of FUBU and that you guys went to a Black Expo. So how did you even find out that something as such as Black Expos even were happening, and what was the strategy going into a Black Expo when you guys
Well, I
found
mean,
out?
you know, you from New York, you know, like, you know something going on in Jacob Javits Center. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we was always in the city anyway, so,
Got you.
you know, and then just being around certain people would be like, yo, I need to be at the Black Expo, go check out the Black Expo. Then they had commercials and all that stuff for it too back then, so, you know what I'm saying? It was easy.
And how do you prepare for that though? Like, how do you go? What kind of mindset did you have going into an environment like that?
Hustle, nigga. Like, hustle, like, it was the place to sell your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we ain't had to be on the street selling it. We ain't had no stores at the time, so that was the only other outlet that we had to really get our clothes out there. So, but the great thing about that was we planted seeds in the community, because we would go out with like 1,000 shirts, 2,000 shirts. Then I think we got to like 4,000 shirts, but you couldn't find it nowhere. So the next year when we got our deal, you know, after one of our most successful years at the Black Expo.
Okay.
Next year when we got our deal, we were supposed to make like, they said, you need to make $5 million in 3 years, or we're gonna either keep your name or you need to pay us back. And we was like, all right, cool. And when we got our first season, we wanted to make $5 million our first season. Because of planting those seeds, and it's nowhere to be found. So now all of a sudden it's in every store and it's a big collection. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So that's how we
And that deal was with Samsung, right?
Yeah.
It's well documented, obviously. So how did you guys even get that far to have that conversation with them? How did that happen?
Well, we put an ad in the paper, and a bunch of motherfuckers called us. I mean, like, they was calling us, offering us 20 million, things like that over the phone. So I'm like, we laughing, like, we got them niggas on speaker, we laughing, like, what? You crazy? Like, but at that time, Samsung did call us. It was one of the people that called us, and we went down for a meeting, and it wasn't time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we kept it moving, and we did New York Undercover with Fredro Starr, and he got shot.
I remember that scene. Word. Yeah.
He got shot in one of his shirts, and they seen that and called us back, and then we went up there, and things started moving from there.
That's what's up. So you advocate for people to outsource. Is that a thing for you guys? Because obviously when you outsource, that was an outsource move dealing with Samsung, because they're not an American company, right? So you...
No, I mean, that was Samsung. It was here in America. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they was somewhere else. The company was here.
But it was, the deal was an international deal. Was it a national deal?
Nah, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was just a deal with Samsung. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were here. They started the textile division, so they had just got into the clothing.
Gotcha.
So they heard about us. You know what I'm saying? Looked at what we were doing, and then made the deal happen.
Let me ask you about the team, because obviously you guys, all four of you guys seemed like you were perfect for this particular moment to create FUBU. How did everybody accept their roles? And how did you guys even go about creating a team? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just designating everybody a role and everyone accepted.
No, we was boys first.
Gotcha.
So, and then once we got into business, everybody just looked at each other's strengths. You know what I'm saying? And figured it out. You know, I'm a people person, so I was out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was running around placing, make sure all the videos, the movies, TV shows had product. So that gave us our visual.
And where did you learn that? Like, who taught you that?
I just like to dress.
Okay.
I just like to dress. So my thing about it, right? So if you go to, basically, I was like a stylist, but I wasn't a stylist. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to my warehouse, you know, if I had to style y'all up in here, I look at everybody, see what everybody got on, look at what I got, and be like, okay, I'm gonna give her 2 or 3 of these outfits. I'm gonna give you 2 or 3 of these outfits. One of those outfits gonna hit. You know what I'm saying? Or 2 of those outfits gonna hit.
Okay.
So that's how we used to do it.
Got you. You used to have a pretty decent job prior to obviously going, you know, working with FUBU and venturing up with that. Let me ask you, what is a good time for someone to quit their 9 to 5 and make a commitment into their dream and vision? In your opinion, what is a good time for someone to say, yo, I'm gonna quit my 9 to 5 and I'm gonna focus on this, but kind of like how you did? How did you know when was the right time to do that?
Well, my situation was different on me. My situation was I was being pushed out of this company. I was actually the property manager of 200 Section 8 low-income family apartments in Harlem. I was doing that, and then I was having problems at the job. This one resident was like calling HUD on me and telling everybody and calling my boss, telling I was selling cocaine in the office and all kinds. And I'm like, girl, I'm so far removed from that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on the straight and narrow. Like, but it was a whole lot of back and forth, and I just got tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And I knew I was doing FUBU for like 4 or 5 years already.
Okay.
About 4 years. So I was like, okay, this thing is moving. I see it moving. Maybe, hopefully, it could be something. You know what I'm saying?
Did the L Cool J commercial came out?
Nah, it didn't.
That was before that?
That was before that. We all just committed.
Okay.
What happened was, Damon was trying to keep everybody together because everybody was. He ain't making no money, man. It's hard to keep folks together. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
we
true.
was dedicated. But he gave us his book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and everybody read it. And then it was like, sometimes you don't know how close you come to success because you often quit and fail. You know what I'm saying? And we knew that we was on to something. We just didn't know when it was going to turn the corner. So we all quit our jobs, focused on that 100%, and then that shit took off.
That's crazy. So 50 years of hip hop was last year. You guys been a part of hip hop for over 30 years.
32.
32 years and counting, right? How does that make you feel to be a part of something so, like, because when you guys first came out, obviously there weren't that many hip hop clothing brands. Maybe Carl Kanai and Cross Colors, if I'm not mistaken. There was a few, a handful. Not many.
No, it was Carl Kanai, Cross Colors.
There was a few, but
Paperwalker.
when FUBU came out, it's almost like you guys kicked the door down. Then everyone else, like, you know, Sean John, Rockefeller, Rockaway, and everybody else just realized, like, yo, we can really capitalize. You know what I'm saying? So
I think the way we approached it, like, we were the brand. Like everybody else had a brand. You know, I think Carl Kanai wasn't really in front of the camera like that.
No, he wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? Cross Colors wasn't in front of the camera like that. And the way we was thinking about doing it, we was like, yo, we need to do a commercial. I remember one time we was like, yo, we want to do a commercial with Hype Williams. And we sat Hype down, and Hype was like, what y'all want to do? He's like, well, you director, you know what I'm saying? Come up with something. And then he was like, I see blue. And I'm like, blue? So everybody in the room looking around like, blue? Blue what? He said, I see blue. I'll call you tomorrow. Right? So he just walks out. So everybody in the room is like, yo, is he fried or what? You know what I mean? But we know Hype is a genius. You know what I'm saying? So we knew he was coming back with something. And then he wound up coming back the next day, and he was like, yo, I got it. We gonna have the models dressed up in FUBU. And they're gonna jump into an Olympic swimming pool. They're gonna swim all the way down to the bottom. I'm gonna have a stage on the bottom and a runway on the bottom.
That's crazy.
And they're gonna walk the runway
underwater.
Like,
hell, yo.
What?
That's Hype Williams. Yeah, that's Hype Williams.
I was like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, because picture what I'm saying.
Right, it's hard. It's hard to
you
picture.
Makeup, full outfits.
Right.
You have to swim down to the bottom of an 18-foot pool.
That's crazy.
And walk the runway.
That's
Man,
wild.
it was dope though. He did it though.
He pulled it off. I
He
remember
pulled
that
it off.
commercial. Yeah, I
He
remember that
pulled it
joint.
off, man.
That's wild, man. So, what was it like partying with FUBU at that peak, man? Well, like just that lifestyle. What was it like being in that environment? Like, just take us back to that moment when you guys were partying in the scene, and you know what I'm saying, just living at $350 million, just grossed. What was it like? What was it like being a part of that?
It was a rock star life. It was a rock star life. Like people used to say, we think these guys are like an R&B group.
Word.
It was crazy.
Yo,
It was crazy.
I ain't gonna lie to you. When I first, because I grew up watching you guys. So when I first saw you guys, I thought y'all were like the next group coming up. I wasn't sure. And then eventually you guys started kind of like, you know, establishing yourselves as, you know, fashion designers and things like that. So we was like, oh wow, so that's what they are. But we really thought like, yeah, the general public really, we was eating that up. We thought y'all was the next R&B group or something.
We just tried to come up with different ways to market ourselves. Man. Like when we used to do things, and people would try to imitate what we do, and then we would switch it up and do something totally different. Like we would go do something like a, excuse me, like a NASCAR or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or X Games, or you know what I mean? Something just like way off to the side where cats wasn't really doing that. So we just try to do things differently.
Got you. And as far as the international market, when did you guys realize that you had such a big influence globally?
No, we had to build that.
Okay.
I mean, when we first got here, we only thought we would have like 3 years. It was like, yo, we gonna have like 3 years. We gotta make as much money as we can. Cause it's gonna be over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before you know it, 3 years turned into 4 years, and then we start getting nervous, and you know, we start talking to people, and one of the guys was like, yo, what we can do is build you some freestanding stores overseas.
Okay.
You know, we'll license it out. We'll do the necessary paperwork for you guys. And that's what they did. And they wound up building 200 freestanding stores overseas.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what other country aside from the US is like one of the second biggest market?
Second, you got Europe, you got Japan, Philippines is big, Mexico City is big. Like it's a lot of crazy.
And
like we was opening stores in like places like Saudi Arabia. Like it's crazy. You know, but what I learned from that,
yeah, what'd you learn?
There's a hip hop community
Everywhere. That's a fact, bro.
That's what I was like. Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
What are you talking about? Saudi Arabia.
Mexico City.
It was like it's a hip hop community everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I just was with my boy Malik Montana. I just did an interview with him, and he's from Poland. He's Polish. You know what I'm saying?
Fine.
So, but he's doing a lot of things out here with some artists out here too. But just to hear him, you know what I'm saying, talk about the way rap has reached all the way out. You know, it's everywhere with these computers and phones.
And I was gonna ask you, how do you see technology complementing your space where you operate in? Like how are you using that to your advantage as far as just the advancements in technology and where you at right now as the CEO of FUBU Radio and everything else you got going on?
I mean, you know, technology has definitely brought us closer and given us the opportunity to do things that some for free that we might necessarily not had. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, we was paying for everything.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want to pay a page in this magazine, 15,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Page in
right.
this magazine, the Bible, whatever, 18,000. Like one page.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So it allows you to tap into people. You know, just as long as you know what you're doing in your demographic. You know.
Got you, bro. Making over $6 billion gross. What type of mental space? Like, do you deal with entrepreneur trauma? I heard that there's such thing. This is a thing called entrepreneur trauma. It's like people that succeeded so much, they have specific things that they like as far as just mentally that they have to deal with because you are exposed to so much. Like, have you dealt with something like that? Like,
I've dealt with that. Like, I've dealt with depression. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, talk about that. Like, if you don't mind.
It's crazy because what happens is you get caught up in who you are sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When you become really successful. Yeah, I was grounded. I was really grounded, but you know, you start to lose yourself sometimes. Like, and you gotta, and you start thinking like, oh, I gotta have this because of this, or I gotta look like this because of that. You know what I mean? And any other day you just get up and do your thing. It's like now you gotta go out all, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I get up, I throw on some sneakers, I have on some old sneakers or whatever. I don't give two fucks. You know what I'm saying? Like before, I used to always come out like I would go buy sneakers. I would buy like 10 pair of Air Force Ones at a time, 10 pair of Timberlands at a time. I had sneakers, them shits was rotten out.
You were the worm shits.
Man, I was like, dude, I would go buy 2 to 3 pair and I'm good. Other than that, I'm not doing that no more. But you get caught up in you know, an image. You know what I'm saying? That you gotta uphold. And sometimes that shit can eat at you. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I was trying to figure shit out when food was kind of dipping, I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It was my next hustle, you know what I mean? The shit was kind of like my image from over here was preventing me to get to the next point, you know what I'm saying? Because I've made, like you said, over all these millions of dollars. So if I'm trying to go somewhere else and it ain't to that level, what people gonna say? But then I felt like, damn, I can't get this because I'm thinking about, you know what I mean? So sometimes that shit gets you caught up, you know what I mean? So I had to let go of all that and just not care about what anybody say. You know what I'm saying? Like, then I just be around my family and shit like that, close people. I don't really have a lot of, I mean, I got a lot of friends, but I don't really go out and, you know, I just be focused on the radio.
Because, bro, you know how people be like, yo, if I had this, I'd be like, if I had that, I'd be like, but you know what I'm saying? But once you get it, and if you're not even mentally ready to it.
Nah, because you know what, I got it when I was young. You know what I'm saying?
And that's even more dangerous.
I got it when I was young, so I ain't really know, I ain't have no financial literacy. I wasn't the type to blow my money. Like, I didn't need no Phantom and all that $500,000 car and all that. I was business, I was straight. You know what I'm saying? I was straight. Like, I didn't need all that. And I always felt like that was a waste of money anyway. Like, why would I spend that much money on a car in New York City? You know what I mean?
Word.
But yeah, so, you know, it took me a while. You know, I've been through, like I said, some trauma over that.
Okay.
But, you know, once I figured out, I had to take a self-analysis of myself. You know what I'm saying? I had to step out and just look at how I was dealing with things and how I was reacting to certain situations.
Okay.
And then once I identified that, I was like, you know what? It's my pride and my ego that's preventing me from getting to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Because who I used to be is preventing me from who I need to become.
From evolving.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think most people get a chance to rebirth.
Like, I'm still Keith from FUBU and all that.
Right.
But now I'm doing other things.
It's a new chapter.
Yeah, I'm doing other things, and I'm, you know, building other relationships and you know, spreading my wings a little bit.
Word. I remember reading that you guys got a chance to meet Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Bro, can you talk about that, bro? What was that moment like, bro?
That was crazy. We was open a store in Johannesburg, South Africa. So we get out there, and you know, I don't know, you know, but the images that they show you here is like the bush.
Right.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
Different, bro. I've been out there.
Man, I got out there.
Right.
I was like, I'm in the Gucci store, and I'm like, what in the? Yo, it was crazy because it was something that I didn't expect. So when I saw it, I was happy that was there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, this is dope.
Right.
But we was just driving around one time. We was on our way to our party. We was having like a little dinner party or something, and my partner out there, my licensee partner out there, was like on the phone, and he's like talking like half English, or you know what I'm saying, and half African or whatever the dialect out there. And then he's got off the phone and he's like, "Yo, Nelson Mandela want to meet y'all. I'm like, what?
It's crazy.
Like, I'm looking at him like sideways, like, man, go ahead, man. And he was like, no, Nelson, what not? I was like, Nelson Mandela who? Nelson Mandela? He was like, yeah. I was like, how does Nelson Mandela know about us?
That's crazy.
You know? And then he was like, yo, I gave him clothes and, you know, I gave his grandkids and stuff clothes. So, you know, that's how they know me from
That's
family. FUBU joint. So I'm like, okay. So let's go. So we on our way. You know, we go to the dinner.
Okay.
Have the dinner first, and then we leave from the dinner to go. And then on the way, he says, "Oh, he had to fly out to meet the dignitary. He can't meet y'all." So I'm like, "Really?" Like we was this close, but no. So we continued the trip. Went on down Sun City. Spent a couple of days down there, and then he called again and said that he was back and if we wanted to come. And we just got in the car and just shot straight to his crib. And then I'm sitting in his living room like, they like, no pictures. I'm like this on my camera, flash off. You know, Karma's a mother, right? You know I lost the camera.
You lost the footage.
I lost the footage. But and I didn't lose the footage. I downloaded the footage, and then you know how things upgrade. And you need a certain thing to open that picture again, like one of those situations. But anyway, the picture that I got with him was fine. We went outside. He came downstairs. Literally, I'm sitting there like this, shaking. You know what I mean? Seeing this man in person. I only did that for two people: Janet Jackson and Nelson Mandela.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
And now we got to talk about Janet, because I didn't even know you. How the meeting went about?
Penny, man.
I know, bro. How the meeting went? Like,
she came to the office. She came to the office one day. It was crazy. She came to the office. And I said, actually, she went to the to our female office, our female ladies office, our FUBU ladies office. She was over there for a while, and she said she wanted to meet us, and she came to Empire State Building. And it was crazy because she's sitting there like, yeah, Michael wear FUBU. We all wear FUBU.
Wow, that's fine.
I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. Like, I'm seriously thinking she lying, but you know,
that's
she wasn't.
Bro. Do you believe that there is such thing as an investor's IQ? Is that a thing?
Investor's IQ?
Yeah. Do you? Is that something you develop? Is that something that is you can learn to have that IQ to learn what to invest into, what to get involved into when it comes to business? Because obviously you guys been doing an exceptional job with what you got.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's really the need.
Okay.
It's really the like identify the need. You know, so if it's something that people need and that you can help that person because that person may not have the resources, you know what I'm saying? And you're able to come in and put things around him, and it's something that's definitely gonna sell. Because you know how sometimes you can invest in anything, bro. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like,
right.
But if it's something that people need that they can use on a daily or they can use consistently,
yeah,
that's
what's up. Is there a difference between a hustler and an entrepreneur, and what's the difference, if there's any, in your opinion?
I don't see no difference. I mean, what is it? I mean, a hustler is someone who's gonna start a business. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a few businesses actually. But to me, it's the same mentality. Different titles, but it's the same mentality.
What about preparation? Who's more prepared, a hustler or an entrepreneur, to go to the next level?
I mean, if you're a smart hustler, you're prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, I mean, all the hustlers I know that be out there hustling, them folks prepared.
They get it.
You know what I'm saying?
But
it's just understanding, you know, what you want to do, man. Like a lot of times people don't they don't plan it for the long run. Like they'll get some money and then be like, oh, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? But they don't say, oh, I'm gonna do this, but it's gonna take that, and then I need that, because this is
they don't consider the process, bro.
They don't go down the line. And I made that mistake one time. I bought a house.
Okay.
I walked in the house. And I was like this. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I bought the house. Then I go in the bedroom, and the bedroom big as like this hallway, like your hallway right there. That's how big my bedroom was. I was like this. Oh yeah.
This is it.
I said, let me see the bathroom. The jacuzzi and everything. I was like, yep, buying it. She was like, you sure? Because I got other people. I said, no, I want to buy one right now. Let's go do the paperwork right now. Man, I bought the house. The house is 75 miles away from the city.
Damn.
And I had to go to work every day.
Oh shit, that's about what, an hour and a half, 2 hours almost?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Hour and a half, 45 minutes.
Damn.
Sometimes 2 hours every day, at each way. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving like 3-4 hours a day, man. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. I was like, so when I did all of that, like I said, I just jumped into it. I didn't think, and then I caught myself, and I was like, damn, Keith, why you usually be on it like that, but you saw something that you just wanted, and you just was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, dumbest decision. Well, not the dumbest, but a dumb decision.
Gotcha. Bro, how do you feel when people say black don't support black? Because a lot of people are saying that for some reason nowadays. It's like, yo, black people don't support black businesses. It's like, have you heard that, or how do you feel when you hear that?
No,
What's your answer to that?
I've heard it. You know, it's not 100% true. Because we do support black businesses. The problem is how we get further on in business is only support black businesses. You know what I'm saying? Or support black businesses 70-80% of the time. You know what I'm saying? And then have those businesses put things back in the community and build. You know what I mean? We're just one of those only ethnic groups that don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We spend $1 trillion a year, or whatever trillion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there can be a lot of other black businesses that are doing super well. You know what I'm saying? Instead of what it is now, because you got to think about it, right? If you're putting money back into your community is gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? Right. And people, they just don't get that. Like I don't know what it is, but they just don't get that. People will go, oh, you know, this clothing brand come out, they like, oh, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? And then it'd be hot for like 6 months, and then we'd be like, oh, we're gonna go to something else. Right. Oh, we're gonna go to this, so we're not gonna support that. Oh, I was wearing that 6 months ago. I'm on to this now. How do you think that brand is going to grow, is going to build, if you don't consistently support it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think of the brands that's out here 30, 40, 50 years. The father bought it for his son. His son bought it for his son. Right. His son bought it. You know what I'm saying? They keep buying it because it's something that's staple in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we're the only ones that got to discard things. Whether it's hip-hop, I don't know. Whether it's hip-hop, whether it's clothing, whether it's, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you know, it's hot for a minute now. You know, it's like microwavable. Right. And after that, it's, you know, they on to the next.
And with this generation, with the Gen Zs, like these guys, most of them have short attention spans. You know what I'm saying? So how do you keep their attention? I mean, you are embedded in the culture. You know what I'm saying, with FUBU. But just if you were to advise a younger entrepreneur, a younger hustler, and you would tell them, yo, this is what you need to do to keep your brand relevant, what would that advice be in today's society?
You asked like 3 different questions.
You're not even drunk or high, so you can answer all 3. Right? You good.
You asked about 3 different questions. You started off with 1 question.
All right, first question.
All right.
What advice you would give to these young cats out here, man? Trying to build a brand, like some longevity in a brand.
I always start with do your homework. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, I say do the work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, like everybody thinks everything is microwavable. It took us 4 years to get that deal. To get that deal. And we started like 2 years before that when we were just messing around with it. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all wasn't making money for the first 4 years, just to be clear.
Nah, yeah, whatever money we was making was going right back to the company to build to get more product. Right?
So no profit was being made for the first 4 years.
We didn't check, we didn't get nothing for 4 years, right?
Damn.
But if we wouldn't have stayed on it, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have got there. Yeah. So a lot of times, like people think, like, okay, I'll give you another prime example. I've been doing FUBU Radio for 8 years now, right? It's my 8th year.
Okay. Congrats.
Usually when you get around the 3rd or 4th year, you be ready to break. You know what I'm saying? Like you figure it out, like, okay, start making money now. Right. You know what I'm saying? After the 3rd year, COVID hit.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? Damn. So it was like, how do I survive this? Now I survived it, I figured it out. But when we came out of that, it was like, okay, now we gotta start over. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like starting over again. Even though we made progress. So now I gotta start over. And doing it, knocking it out, saying to myself, when is this thing gonna turn the corner? When is it gonna turn the corner? Finally, I mean, one of my friends was like, yo, I don't know if that thing's gonna work out, man. You might wanna switch it up. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stick with it. 2.5 months later, I got a deal with U42.
That's fine.
You know? And they, excuse me. They building a huge studio down in Atlanta right now. So it's gonna be, it's like a creative studio. So if you ever need to go to Atlanta and you know, put some things down or record some things, you know, it'll be a place where you can go.
That's fire. Yeah, I'm actually going out there next weekend. So
it ain't finished yet.
Okay, but I'll be out there frequently.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll
So
get
we
back
go out
with
there.
you.
We go out there.
That's fire.
We've been doing things with them. They've been recording and providing me a network on their platform.
And Demetrius, he's in Atlanta or in Carolina?
Demetrius in North Carolina.
Carolina. Okay, shout out to Demetrius.
Yeah, shout out to D.
Yeah.
He in North Carolina, and we got a studio out there.
Okay.
We got a studio in Atlanta, and then we got one in Times Square.
That's what's up.
So,
got you, bro. And this is, I think, this question is for a lot of people, man. Like, how do people of color, how do we put ourselves in position in a society where white privilege is a thing? Like, how do we put ourselves in position, bro?
I don't know.
Just give me some advice, man. I'm trying to figure this out.
I don't look at it as white privilege. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just look at it as, you know, if you do what you do and you do it well, you'll be great at it. You know what I'm saying?
So color wouldn't even be a factor.
I mean, it's always going to be a factor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But you can't let that stop you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to keep pushing. Like, you know, there's always, even, I'll go back to the radio station. Success is not a linear path. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta go around up some bumps and you know what I'm saying? And you might hit a dip. You know what I'm saying? You might stumble a little bit.
You're right.
But you gotta keep going. Like if I ain't keep going with FUBU Radio and I wanna quit and be like, oh, this ain't making no money. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have bumped into my partner at U42.
One of your biggest advantages is that you are actually involved in the community, bro. Like, you do a lot that doesn't go documented. And I think that's part of what a lot of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, miss on. They don't realize that they got to give back to the community before the community supports them. Am I wrong for that analysis? Like, I think, because you've done a lot. You volunteered. You speak at colleges. You become it's public information that you've been part of a speaker for the homeless, right? At one point, you were an ambassador for that.
I just go out and touch the community, man. That's what it's really about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make as much money. Like, I go back anywhere. Like, I go on any block I grew up on. Dolo. Dolo. and I'm good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna know somebody in the hood. I'm gonna know, or somebody gonna know me. I don't got no, I don't have issues with nobody. You know what I mean? So it's like when you make money, you leave, and you don't come back, and and I ain't saying take care of everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can go to one of the local parks and just redo the park.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not even trip, man. You gotta put your logos on it and nothing. Just redo the park. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what we were doing. We were like redoing parks, putting computers in schools, things like that.
But I think the youth misunderstand the whole black don't support black comes from that idea that they want support but they don't give it back. You don't see that because you actually support regardless, whether black, white, whatever. But the youth growing up now, I don't think they understand that concept. They just want people to support them because they black. But they're not really giving back to the community.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Based on what I watched.
It's a different time. Like, I've learned to accept that it's a different time.
Okay.
These kids different, man. They growing up in a different era. Things that we did, the way we grew up, the way we move, is not how they gonna move. They gonna move different. So what I find is like we try to instill. You try to talk to the youngins. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta listen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we try to talk too much and we don't listen. So they be trying to tell us something that we not even hearing because we trying to tell them something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't like force how you grew up on them because, you know what I'm saying? They growing up in a different time. Like you didn't grow up on your phone. You didn't grow up on online dating. You ain't grew up on, you know what I'm saying? Like we had video games back in the days, but if we had a video game, it was one video game or two video games.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you had 3 or 4, you were good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
But these kids got everything at the palm of their hand. It's different. So, like, what I try to do, honestly, is I try to learn the kids and what they're going through.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And then I just tell them shit that I went through. I don't try to preach to them or nothing like that. And they just bond with me.
Got it. I think my observation is more so their contribution to the community, though, because you don't really have to be old or young to contribute at some level in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
and I don't see enough youth being involved in the community, bro. That's to be honest with you, that's my pet peeve when it comes to watching these kids.
A lot of places ain't communities, bro.
So then that's a whole different conversation. Moving on.
You know what I'm saying?
Move on, guys. Move on.
That's what, like that whole village, like it take a village to raise.
I'm into that.
But if the village ain't there, you know what I'm saying? Like when I grew up, I lived on my block for 17 years straight. I knew everybody. Everybody. My mom's as fine as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to holler at my mom. So I knew all the OGs. I knew everybody. And everybody knew us because of my mother.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So when I'm in that hood and growing up in that era, it was different. You know what I'm saying? Like you had people who would beat the child and bring him home to the mama. You know what I'm saying? I remember when it switched. When I started hearing, like, I don't remember, I think it was like in the 90s. I would wake up, getting dressed. 14-year-olds just shot this lady or this man.
Yeah.
Because that man was trying to school him or take him home to his mother. And then it started happening, I started seeing it happening, frequently.
Right.
And I was like, man, they can't even chastise these kids. These kids ain't playing. These kids are shooting. So after a while, you know what it is? I'm worried about my own.
That's what happened.
And keep my head straight. I'm to live another day. You know what I'm saying? So the community is not there. Like kids is,
You're right. That's a good observation.
They sitting home with the video games. They're not even going. I know kids that don't even go outside.
Now you're right. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. That's a
like 20-something years old, bro.
Yo, these niggas old as shit.
They ain't even
go outside, man. Come on.
They on the games like this, gambling and just doing all kinds of things, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Yo, I looked you up on LinkedIn, man, and you a doctor. And you don't really walk around putting that out there like that. But congratulations on that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I just got it. Give me time. Give me time.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put it out there to everyone watching, man. Listen, you see this man?
I got my PhD from Harvard Christian University.
Man,
St. Louis.
Congrats, bro. That's massive.
Yeah.
Are you in your family? Are you the first one in your family to achieve that, or you have others?
Yeah.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah. Cause the first, as far as my knowledge, yeah.
That's fire, man. Congratulations on that, bro.
Thank you.
And what do you want the next generation to take away from your story?
My story?
Yeah.
See, I ain't really told my story yet.
Mm.
Y'all don't even know my story. I just know the FUBU story, but y'all don't know my story. I'm gonna tell it soon, but
is it a documentary coming up or something?
Nah, I'm working on something.
All right.
Yeah, but how I grew up and the things like I grew up, bro. Like this kid told me one day, he said, "Yo," one of my white boyfriend. He was actually an intern at the time, but he was coming up in the office. He was like, "I grew up just like you." I was like, "Just like who?" You ain't grew up like me. You might grow up like someone of these others, not like me. And I was joking with him, so he was like, "Well, tell me some of the things that you do that I can relate to that you grew up with." I was like, "You ever had no lights in your apartment?" He was like, "Nope." I said, "Oh, how about no heat?" He was like, "No." "Hot water?" "No." "You ever had to light your stove with a pot in it?" For heat? He was like, "No." I said, "You ever went to sleep with your clothes on? With your coat on?" He was like, "No." I said, "Oh, okay." "Did you ever boil water to wash your ass?" He was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, you got a bowl of water, you go to the sink." He was like, "Nah." I was like, You ever had roaches in your house? He was like, "No."
And you ain't have roaches in the crib?
I said,
"Come on, man."
"You want me to keep going?" I said, "Rats?" "You got rats in my house?" He was like, "No." I was like, "Bro, man, go ahead, man."
Right.
I said, and my drive come from that, like, growing up on welfare, not having no bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom's kept us as far as she could, but we went shopping like 2 times a year. First week of school, you know what I'm saying? Right before school.
Right.
And Easter. She be like, "You want a suit?" I'd be like, "Hell no, I want some sneakers and some jeans. I ain't going to church." You know what I'm saying? I wear the suit I had last year to church. But yeah, so you know what I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
So that's where my drive come from. I just wanted to do better, and I always wanted to like succeed. Like I used to tell my mom when I was like 5 years old, I'm gonna buy a house. You know what I'm saying? And
so who was your role models growing up? Like, who did you look up to?
My uncles. You know, my pops was kind of weird. He was like introvert, so he'd come home from work, go right to the room, close the door. I didn't see him till the next morning. You know what I'm saying? For 5 minutes. And then weekends, I ain't seen him at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but he left when I was 8. So for me, you know, my role models were my grandfathers. Because they always came by and made sure we was alright. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't have much, but they always would come by and make sure we was straight.
That's what's up, bro. And again, any advice for any young entrepreneur, young hustler out there watching this right now, what would you tell
them? Believe in yourself. If there's anything that you're doing, no matter what anybody says, if you believe in it, if you see the progress, keep doing it. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. And just really believe in yourself, man, because a lot of these failures come from self-doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doubt ourselves when you really have what it takes. You know, you just gotta buckle up and try to enjoy the ride.
But, you know, people, they say be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it and you might not be ready for it. Is that something you ever experienced?
Hell yeah. Because I wasn't ready. Like, I didn't know what this FUBU experience was gonna be. You know what I mean? Like we were really just trying to get a store. Like really trying to just go get a store, put some clothes in the store, have a store, sell clothes, and for it to be what it was and how quick it was, you know? Like we did a lot of things, bro. Like a lot of things. And soon, hopefully, we've been working on a documentary. I actually just shot a couple of trailers for the documentary, but
how's that going? It's coming along well?
it's coming. It's coming.
I mean, Netflix is flooded with different biopics and bio series and shit. Yeah, definitely.
It's trying to get all 4 people together.
Okay,
you know
that's
what
what
I'm
it is.
saying?
Got it.
Everybody doing their thing.
But that would be epic, bro. Definitely.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dope. It's my story. Like I had a crazy story that I overcame a lot. You know what I'm saying? I seen a lot, overcame a lot. So it's gonna be crazy.
How do you dig yourself out of a black space? Like any advice? Anybody dealing with something like dark moments in their life right now? What's your go-to?
I would say go to therapy. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like my mom's is like my biggest fan, so and she's really militant. So she was kind of like my therapist. Like I didn't go to a therapist going through what I was going through.
But you had somebody to speak with.
Oh, my mom's is
Your
like,
moms.
you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like
Got it.
she like my moms and my pops, uncles and all that rolled into one lady, but
That's fine.
she like she don't sugarcoat nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so who you thought you was, or you know what you thought you was, she'd break you right down and give it to you. Like, so she was my rock to get me through. You know, and then wifey too, because wifey was there. She held me down. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
She didn't been at. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
She hit me with the Heisman. You know?
Wow, that's fire.
So she,
and that's rare, bro. You don't really see that kind
Nah,
of support from a
good,
woman
bro.
nowadays, bro. That's fire.
I'm going on 3 years. 30 years.
Congrats, bro. That's great, bro. That's great. Cause I'm going on.
Yeah, I'm 28 years in. You know what I'm saying? So.
Alright, that's blessings, man. Yo, Keith, bro, it's been a pleasure. You know, I really want you to kind of like tap in and just for anyone listening, man, how important it is to get out of your comfort zone. And if you have a vision, right? If you have a brand going international, is that something you advocate? That you encourage people to say, yo, take your brand overseas? Is that something that you would put
Yeah,
out
why
there?
not? I mean, you know, the world is bigger than the United States. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have any idea what that would bring for us. You know what I mean? And when we did it, it was just like, wow. Like, you know, places like Turkey, Milan, and Saudi Arabia, and like I said, you know, all these other places, Japan and Korea, all these. Like I went out to Japan and opened a food store in Japan. One of the wildest experiences I've ever seen in my life.
What made it crazy?
Because it was like, Japan was like this hip hop mecca. Like just the wares and what they had on and the way they was wearing it. They was wearing all the baggy clothes and it was just different. It was way different from what you would expect. You know what I'm saying?
Because they don't see that every day. See, we in New York, so hip hop is us. Like it's all over. Out there in Japan, when someone like us go over there, we bring the sauce.
Nah, but they had the sauce.
They got the sauce in Japan?
Man, I was buying Air Force Ones.
No, I'm talking about the culture as far as just
I was
rappers,
just saying, like
music,
everything. They had the clothes, the music, the breaking, beatboxing. It was just like
that's crazy.
a whole. It was back in the 80s for us. You know what I'm saying? But now it's the 90s. I'm out there. But for us, that was our 80s. You know what I'm saying? But that was their 90s.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
So all y'all hip hop artists out there, listen, man. There's more than just New York. There's more than just Atlanta. There's more than just Chicago and South by Southwest. Go overseas, because I think they embrace hip hop a lot more overseas. They really appreciate you out there. Because I've been out there a few times, you know what I'm saying? So obviously not at the level that you have with all these countries, but I've seen the countries that I go to, everywhere I go, like you said, hip hop is everywhere. And I think these artists now, they have to start finding creative ways to get their music and go overseas with it. But look, back to you, bro. With everything you've done, what's been the most proud accomplishment you received, or you accomplished? The most proud thing you
business wise, you mean?
just in general, as in your this journey that you've been in. What's the proudest thing you've accomplished that you can stand on and say, "Yo, this is it. This is."
Just taking the company to where we took it to. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of work. Like, people don't realize it was a lot of work, man. Like, and we didn't get up and we didn't miss no days. It wasn't like
Right.
Like, we partyed like 6 in the morning and we had work at 10 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Some of us get there about 12. But on the average, like, we there like on time. You know what I'm saying? Like, putting in the work every day. And just achieving what we achieved. Like, I got so many awards and proclamations, and I just got the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award.
How do you stay humble with all this recognition that you get, man? How do you just stay human?
Like Jay-Z said, I was who I was before I got here. You did. So I don't get caught up in all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I appreciate it. I work hard for it. But I'm still not where I want to be.
What?
Nah. Like, cause
wow.
I did it as a group. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So sometimes translations can get lost in the group. You know what I mean? So
okay, got it.
I was, because like I said, I was working for HUD. I went from working at HUD to working in the private sector to having my own buildings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was already on that trajectory already. You know what I mean? And then I took a step back and became Indian, and you know what I'm saying? And rock with my boys and let that manifest and do what that did. Now I'm back to what I do and how I'm gonna do things. Moving forward.
So what the world should be expecting from Keith Perrin moving forward? Aside from FUBU Radio, which is a great platform.
I'm trying to teach some classes. So I got some things like that in the work. I'm trying to write my first book. Like, everybody writes books on how to help people and all that. I just want to tell you a little something about me and how I grew up. That's the angle I want to come.
Good.
And I tell you my, experiences and all that, but I just want to tell you who I am. So that's gonna be my first book.
Okay.
And then next year I'm gonna be working on my own documentary. Not,
And you got footage from back in the day to now to put that together. That's gonna be crazy, bro.
Yeah. See, I was poor. I ain't really had no video camera back in the days. I ain't get that till the brother got some money, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like 4 years old running around with video cameras, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
He had the 110.
Yeah.
Yo, for real.
Nah, word, man. I respect that, bro. Yo, Keith, man, it's always a pleasure, King, having you here, fam.
Thank you, man.
I hope you enjoy my setup over here. Global VIP, we're moving on up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
little by little,
we
try to get up there, man. But it's always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Having you over here, and I want to thank you on behalf of everyone that I noticed took your blueprint and created their own movement, you know what I'm saying? But without the FUBU blueprint, a lot of people will be lost right now. And I'm just gonna say, because I know a lot of people that's doing a lot of great things, but it was because of that, because of what you guys said, you know what I'm saying?
And then you asked me, and I didn't get to it, but that's what I was really gonna say. I was gonna say my biggest moment is that people look at us and get inspired. You know what I'm saying? And start their own businesses and say, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. So to me, that's like the biggest thing for me, because I didn't think about that part. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I was just thinking about making money, being successful. I wasn't thinking about inspiring nobody. You know what I'm saying? So that just happened just cause. And we always say it's more than a clothing line, it's a movement. You know? So
And y'all live by that, man, for sure, bro. My daughter, she went to DC. She checked out the FUBU display you guys have at the Museum of African American History. So, and I was like, yo, listen, man, this is how far you can go with a dream. You know what I mean? So, thank you for that. Thanks for setting the table for all of us to watch and have some notes to follow up on. And you always been a real one, bro. Like, whenever I don't know, at least with me, I never had a situation where you didn't offer me your platform. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm sure if you and I, we interact from time to time, but I'm sure that the people that's around you really enjoy what it's like to be around your element, be in your space, you know what I'm saying? Because they have access to you, you always giving back, you always have an open door policy for people, and it's rare to find people like you. As humble as you are, I've been in rooms, bro, with motherfuckers that made a lot of money and they act like fucking assholes. So I'm just keep it real. So it's like, yo, to see you is refreshing because it's like, yo.
You know what it is too? It's I remember my grandfather told me this when I was little. I remember I was like maybe like 10, 12 or whatever, and he was like, always treat people the way you want to be treated. He was like, I don't care if it's the janitor or the CEO. You know, treat them the same. You know what I'm saying? Treat them with respect. Like, don't look down on anybody. And he said, because sometimes, you know, people going up the ladder will start passing the people coming down the ladder. You may be on your way up and somebody may be on their way down. Or you might be on your way down and somebody might be on their way up. But if you treat them with respect and you always treat them with respect, they always remember that. And they might lift you back up the ladder. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't, then they let your ass fall. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man. I just treat everybody the same, bro. And it's taking me, places. You know what I'm saying? Where people see the genuine.
Yeah, that goes without. It's like almost like the moment you walk in a room, people can see that, yo, he look like he's a down to earth guy. Like, he doesn't look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because obviously the perception of, if they don't know you, they just see you on TV or social media and they'll have their own perception. But once they're around you, they feel your energy that, nah, he's that cool, man. He's one of us.
I took some acting classes, so I can act just like that, though, bro. I'm telling you. From the day, from the time I walk in the room.
I love it, man. I love you, man. Hey, thanks, bro, for stopping by. Global VIP. Appreciate you, man. I hope you had a good time with me today, man.
Yes, sir.
And let's go global, y'all. Y'all already know.
Peace.